13 kilometers downstream from Canmore, Alberta, on the path of the Bow River, along a power line trail and just past a growling magnesium oxide manufacturing facility, you come to this. A wide, rocky valley tapering to a narrow entrance. This is Grotto Creek Canyon, a passageway through the rock carved by glacial meltwater at the end of the last ice age, leaving smooth and flowing stone walls up to 60 meters tall. It's easy to get so swept up in the beauty of the geology that you flat out miss the most mysterious bit of the whole canyon. I should know, that's exactly what I did. Near where the canyon first narrows at the south entrance, 4 to 5 meters up the stone wall, you might just be able to make out faded figures in red ochre. They're pictographs painted between 500 and 1300 years ago. Now, pictographs in mountainous regions are pretty uncommon. When they do occur, it's often in a place like this, a narrowing point where travelers are funneled from one place to another. It's thought that they've always been sacred spaces, a spiritual as well as physical passageway. So these pictographs were already a rare sight, but when they were found by Western archaeologists, they had no idea just how strange they really were. In fact, it took 5 people and almost half a century to get there. In 1955, Douglas Leachman publishes a preliminary description of the site. That leads to Selwyn Dewdney visiting in 1962 and making an accurate sketch. And that leads to Dr. Thelma Habgood visiting in 1967. Now, she is the first one to make an unusual observation. The figure she focuses on is this guy up in the corner. He bears a striking resemblance to Kokopelli, a flute-playing trickster. Why is that unusual? Because Kokopelli is only associated with the Hopi, a nation who may have originally migrated from South America, but never settled much further north than what is now the Four Corners region of the US, 1,500 kilometers away from these pictographs. In 1992, Michael Klassen photographs the site on a conveniently rainy day when the wet stone helps the pictographs to pop, and reinforces the figure's resemblance to Kokopelli. And finally, in 2001, photographer Jim Henderson uses night photography and polarized light to get the clearest images yet. They seem to confirm the theory. This was a figure from the Hopi tradition. So, how on earth did it end up in Grotto Creek Canyon? There's a tempting explanation in Hopi oral history. They tell of a great push for exploration and agriculture. 4 clans were sent in the 4 cardinal directions. The Flute clan headed north and reported back that they'd traveled to a land of rock and snow before being forced back by the frigid climate. So that is tidy and enticing, and it's possible we've got our answer, but we may never know for sure. There are other possibilities. The resident Stoney Nakoda could have traveled south, encountered the Hopi in peace or conflict, and come back with their pictographs. They may have been taught, but pictographs were also considered spoils of war, powerful symbols to be taken from a vanquished enemy and wielded by the victors. And what did the Stoney Nakoda themselves say? Well, some say they know exactly where the pictographs came from, but they're not talking. Hard to blame them, they were left out of most of the discourse around the mystery, even though they'd be the most likely to have some insight. And their reluctance is proven to be well-founded. In July of 2022, a group of hikers stopped at the pictographs to scratch them up with their walking sticks. Not even for a photo or to try to take a piece of them, just to desecrate and destroy. So, maybe this mystery staying a mystery is okay. Every once in a while, we need a reminder that it's a viable option to speculate and appreciate and respect, and then just leave things be.